I'm live, yay. Okay, so I screwed up, you guys. I'm gonna wait a few minutes for you all to maybe make your way over, and if not, and you missed today and you're now watching it recorded, I am sorry. I don't know, I set up the link wrong, and of course that's the link that I shared, and it was set up for streaming software, whatever nonsense. And I used the webcam, and so I don't know. I recreated the link, and I hope that you guys will get here. You'll kind of pile over this way because I screwed up. Sorry. And if you're watching it on the recording, I'm sorry you missed it live because I screwed up. But I'm human, and we all make mistakes. And so, welcome to Being Becca Live. I am Becca, of course, and this is where we chat about the things in our lives. I have to get comfortable. I'm so sorry. The things in our lives that, as autistic adults, that are challenging right now and not when research catches up. So we talk about it like this, and we chitty chat, or I chitty chat with you. I'm very uncomfortable right now. That is much better. Wow. Okay. And so here we are. We're going to talk about that today because I think it's really important that we talk about some of the struggles. And today's struggle that we're going to talk about being autistic will come to you from my own personal life. And of course, I try to do that. I try to talk about the things that I'm actually struggling with, so that I can talk about what it's like to process through those things with you guys, so that A, you're not alone, and also B, like how to do it if you don't like the way you currently do it, or if you think there might be some better way to do it, and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's where we're at. Before we begin on our topic though today, you guys, let's talk about what I now must talk about at the beginning and end of every live stream, which is that I am desperately trying to grow this channel. I would love to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of December. There's a couple of reasons for it. First of all, I want to know that it's worth the energy and time and whatnot that I put into doing the live streams and doing the channel and that kind of thing. And also because YouTube has this weird thing about how you can't really monetize until you have 1,000 subscribers or this many views or whatever their stupid thing is. And to me, that means that it's a way of saying like you really aren't impacting the YouTube platform unless you reach 1,000 subscribers. And so I want my platform to be impactful. I would like for it to get there. And I would love your help getting there, because that is their magic number, 1,000 subscribers. So if you can help me, I would appreciate it. And that would be a fantastic thing. I'm getting there. And in order to make it exciting and fun for you and worth your spoons to watch and also share and also participate and all of those things, I am going to do giveaways throughout December. So we are here December 1st, and I am announcing this is the first live stream of December. I am going forward, be doing a things like dropping clues into or hints or keywords, those things into the live streams as I do them. And I'm also going to be tossing up some little shorter videos here and there on no schedule whatsoever, where you can also have opportunities to win things. And I think the ones that are unscheduled little blips are going to be the bigger prizes. So I'm encouraging you guys to subscribe so that you get the notifications that I put a video up so you can win. That's what I'm doing. I want to make it worth your while, you guys, to subscribe. So I will be doing those two things. And so if you are interested in winning prizes from me, which will include one-on-ones with me, seats in my seminars, seats in the full course that starts in February. And in addition to that, probably some signed Spectrum Women copies. And also, I'm going to be sending you guys gear from, well, let's look at it this way, the Redbubble store. Thank you, Redbubble, for making it easy for me to be creative. I appreciate it. And I will show you some of the items I have purchased for giveaway. So right here, I have two of my mugs that I created. This is the one that says, I'm way too autistic for this shit, it says. And I can read it in the back. I don't know why I didn't. It's on both sides of the mug. There's two different designs of mugs. This is my preferred shape. There's another one that's sort of a cone. Do it that way, whatever you like. But this is one of the mugs. And I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be giving away both mugs to the same person and then order other things. I'm unsure yet. But that is one of the two mugs that I'll be giving away. And the other mug that I'll be giving away is Autism Happens, because it does. Even, when you're doing your best to control all of your little bits and pieces of making sure that you're taking care of your autism, right when you least expect it, there it will be, and autism happens. And so those are the two mugs that I will be giving away, along with copies of Spectrum Women, one-on-ones with me, seats in my seminars, and seats in the course throughout the month of December. And I would love your help getting to the subscribers. So please let people know that's the stuff that I'll be doing. I'm sure I'll be giving away a little bit more merch. I haven't yet decided what, so I haven't ordered it, so I can't show it to you, but I'll figure it out. And that kind of thing. Yes, so that's that. That is my big wasting of your time selling zone of 5 minutes here so that I can grow this channel. And let us move along to the topic for today. I want to talk about alexithymia. And I want to talk about the struggles of being or having alexithymia. Because it's something that I struggle with, and I'm somebody who has worked really hard to be in tune with myself, and really hard to be mindful of myself. And alexithymia challenges me in a way I cannot even tell you guys. And I think it's really funny that I'm wearing this shirt. The irony of this shirt right now. Don't tell me to smile, it says. And so, when you're autistic, I tend to have a resting bitch face, which is what people call it, which means I look very serious all of the time. When I'm not talking or passionate or engaged in a conversation, I tend to look like, stay away from me. Half of that is because I'm autistic, and the other half of it is because I grew up in New York, and that's how we exist, is like that, stone-faced. And so, such is the case. And so it always makes me laugh to have something that says, don't tell me to smile, or stop telling me to smile, or no, I don't need to smile, or no, I'm not mad or angry or sad or tired. This is just my face piece. And so it's funny that I'm wearing this, because part of that whole situation is that I have alexithymia and I don't always recognize my emotions. I should have pulled up a really great definition of alexithymia from somewhere, but basically it's the inability to recognize your emotions. And so those of us on the spectrum, it's one of the things we are prone to, one of our co-occurrers that we're prone to. And because of that, it's one of the ones that I'm challenged by, and I struggle with it. I struggle with it a lot. So the way that I explain my experience with it is that I recognize the big emotions, right? I've had those big emotions enough in my life that I recognize them when they're happening, and I can kind of figure out why I'm feeling that way. But the little intricate kind of emotions, the little gray area emotions, are much more difficult for me. You hear Fiona barking? I'm a killer. Are more difficult for me to sort of piece out. The other part of alexithymia for me is I often have delayed emotional reactions to things. So like something will happen, perhaps will be part of an emergency, and that makes me great in the emergency, because in that emergency I don't really feel anything, right? But then it's after the emergency has passed and sort of my brain catches up and all of these things, and then I begin to feel the emotions that come along with those situations that I was in. Ta-da! And so that's my version of alexithymia. That's where I struggle with it. And what that can mean for me is something that happened to me today, and it's why it's on the top of my head and why I want to talk to you guys about it, because it literally happened to me this morning, and so like hours ago. And so I want to talk to you guys about it. So as you know, and I've talked about it before, my mother is no longer with us. She passed from pancreatic cancer about 6 years ago. And I was her caregiver, and it was horrible and traumatic and all of these things. And I've had to do a lot of work to rebuild my life afterwards, and all kinds of things. But what is really difficult about it as of late, so like the holidays bring a lot of stuff up, but it's also my mom's birthday in 3 days. So in 3 days, my mom would be, I don't know, whatever age she wouldn't want to talk about now, but her birthday is December 4th. And, as I get closer to it, because that's really the day, like a lot of people celebrate the day that the person passed, or they think about that person, they do remembrances on the day that the person passed. But I don't want to remember my mom on the day that she passed. It was excuse me. It was not very pretty. And so I really do my best to try to remember her on her birthday, because then I can remember her when she was alive and all of the amazing birthdays that we shared together and stuff like that. So as that time creeps up on me, it's always painful. But because I have alexithymia, I don't always recognize it. I don't always see it for what it is. And I don't see it because it's one of those in between emotions, right? It's not angry. It's not sad. It's not, um, tired. It's not bored. It's not one of my big ones that I have so much that I recognize them. It's part of the grief process. And there, yes, it's a part of sadness, but it's a different kind of sadness. It's like a nostalgic sadness. It's like a sensitive sadness. It's, see, right? Really hard to put my name on it. I don't even put the word on it because I can't describe it well enough to think of the word that it makes me think of, right? And that's the struggle of it, right? It's like I feel bleh, and I can't even tell you. And when I can't tell you, I can't figure out for myself where it's coming from and all of these things. So it's a missing, it's a longing. Maybe longing is the right word, right? See how long it took me to get there? That's alexithymia. That's what it's like, right? And so imagine that you're having that feeling, or your brain is processing that feeling, but you don't feel the feels of it. Oh, feels. Oh, it just made me think of all the feels. You guys, if you haven't read All the Feels yet, please check it out. Autism Level Up, All the Feels. I did the editing, but this is what we mean, right? It's hard for autistic people, especially when we struggle with interoception and we have other co-occurs like alexithymia, to identify some of these things for us, let alone process them while they're happening, right? And so for me, those emotions show up later, right? And so, or they show up in weird places from weird things, or sometimes totally randomly, which is really the worst. Like randomly crying somewhere and not knowing why you're crying is so weird. It's so fucking weird. But today, as I'm getting closer to my mom's birthday, of course, I'm having more and more thoughts about her. And as I remember her, of course, there's sadness along with it, right? Please, I don't want to cry right now. Okay, I just want to talk about it. And this morning I woke up and all of my animals were snuggling me. And then my cat Schmidt, who I wish he was here somewhere. He's my black and white guy. He's like my soul cat. And he came and he was snuggling with me. And I just realized that as I looked around at all of my animals, that of everybody in my house, and that's 6 cats, 4 dogs, and Antonio. Oh, and the 2 snakes and the 2 outdoor cats, right? Of all of those creatures, only Schmidt and I knew my mom, right? And that made me so sad to think about. And it made me long for her so much. And then I just kind of was like, okay, I really do. I miss her. Walked away from that whole scenario, right? Made my breakfast, had my coffee, let the dogs in and out probably 3 times. And then all of a sudden, I just started to cry like this, right? But I wasn't talking about it. I was just started to cry. And I realized that what's hard about this for us as autistics, not this emotion, not the sadness and the grief and all that, but what's hard about the alexithymia for us, right, is it sometimes creates for us the idea that we have no empathy because we're not feeling things the way we're supposed to feel them in the moment that we're supposed to be feeling them, right? And that's the struggle. But the other thing is that some of the ways that we are taught how to deal with our emotions are not helpful when you have alexithymia. It's hard, right? So one of the biggest things that all of the coaches out there in the world, myself included, will tell you, when you are feeling something, let yourself feel it, right? Let yourself feel that feeling. Well, what if you don't feel that feeling, right? Or what if you feel something different? Or what if you don't know what you're feeling in the moment? So how can you let yourself feel it, right? There's this component of it where it's like, on this example, right? Well, just let yourself feel the sadness back, just, it's okay. Walk through the sadness, feel the grief, feel the longing, let yourself cry, right? Except that when I'm thinking about it and feeling it, there are no tears attached to it. They come later. And then it feels weird because they're not attached in the right place. And so to let yourself cry, and then it's just, I don't know, it's very hard. As you can see, I'm still trying to figure it out for myself, because I know I need to allow myself to feel my emotions, and I don't know whether it's important that I recognize them in acknowledging them, or do I just have to say I'm feeling something, right? And let yourself feel the something, right? Do I let myself just randomly cry, or do I dig deeper than that? I mean, how do I play out alexithymia in adulthood, right? For years I didn't understand that I had alexithymia, and the way that I dealt with it was to hide the emotions, right? So when they showed up, whether it was randomly or later or delayed or whatever, um, you know, I just would hide them because it was so weird, like it was out of place. Or sometimes you'd have to mask emotions in certain scenarios because you didn't feel it yet, right? I didn't feel it yet. So I had to show on the outside what I was supposed to in the right moment, right? That masking piece. And it makes feeling things very confusing for me. It makes it all very muddy and mushy. And I want to allow myself to grieve. I want to allow myself to um, acknowledge these hardships and these feelings, right? Just like, anger is not one that I have control over. And boy, do I recognize it, but I have no control over that one. That one still evades me, right? But learning the intricacies of all of these emotions, being able to identify them, their triggers, how to let myself feel them, is so linked to this broken interoception, to this, the alexithymia piece, that there has to be another way for us, right? There has to be some way, right? And that makes what it makes me want to do. And Kelly Mahler, I'm about to give you a shout out. It makes me want to email Kelly, does all of this work on interoception, to say, please talk to me about interoception and alexithymia, because I'm really struggling and they feel so interconnected. And maybe I will. You know what? When I say goodbye to you guys, I may just toss her an email and say, hey, what are your thoughts on this, right? Because there has to be some way for us to feel our feelings, and maybe to all the feels girls too, right? There must be some way for us to feel our feelings, um, but honor our authenticity by acknowledging the alexithymia. That's about as complicated a sentence as I can come up with to explain that, but that's what I'm thinking about today. Because along with having this longing or this sadness and this just overhanging feeling of that, there's of course also the seasonal depression, but then there's this loneliness too that comes with it. There's a lot of loneliness and grief, I think. And so there's these other things, if that's what you call it. I don't know if that's what I call it. Isolation, I don't know. And so I want to learn how to process my emotions better. I want to learn to get better at them. And I feel like interoception is part of the key to it. But I also just need to also acknowledge the alexithymia, and I need to adjust how I process those emotions accordingly, if that makes sense. So those are my big thoughts. Those are my big thoughts today, surrounding sort of alexithymia and interoception and how we process. And I'm going to send an email when I say goodbye to you guys, to all of those ladies, and see if I can't get a conversation started a little bit, or see if I can't get us some more information, or that I can't get some information from them to add to my thinking, to then say, here's what I think it is. Because that's where I'm at with it. And I'm sorry almost that I really screwed up the link today, because I really would have loved to hear your input and kind of know what you guys think of it. And so do me a favor, if you are watching this after the fact, if you came in late or whatever, or chat's not working for some reason, or all of those things, please email me or comment. Better than that, don't email, comment wherever you're seeing this video, so that I can reply back to you, because I want to talk about this and I want to know what other people's experience with alexithymia is and other stuff than that. So comment wherever you're seeing this video. I would love to talk to you about your experiences and what you think about what it is that I talked about. And I will update you after I send this email. Maybe I'll get some kind of really nugget of information that will make it all make sense for me and I can talk about it. But that's sort of where I'm at today. So there's some sadness, some depression, but a lot of confusion, and a lot of just, a desire to do my feelings better if there's a way for me to do that. So yeah, that's what I've got for you guys today here on Being Becca Live, the challenges of alexithymia, or the struggles of alexithymia, really, and what it's really like to be there, right? It doesn't mean I don't feel. It just means I feel different than most people. I feel my feelings differently, and I have trouble identifying them. And so that's how I describe the experience. I would love to hear you describe it, what your experiences are with alexithymia, because right now I feel like I'm the only one who has it. It's the way it feels today, that I just feel lonely about it. And so I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Anyway, again, here's my second reminder as we close up the live stream that I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. If you want to participate in the giveaways, if you want those mugs or a copy of Spectrum Women or a free one-on-one with me or free seats to the course or the seminars, or you just really want to support what I do here on this channel, I would be grateful beyond. I would love to get to 1,000 subscribers so that I'm feeling like my channel is impactful, and kind of, getting myself to the next level of where it is I want to go. And I would love your help getting there. So share my channel, share my videos. If you think what I talked about today is cool and you want to hear other people's opinions too, share this video, share others, just share the channel, tell someone about it. Put it up in skywriting. I would appreciate your help in any way, shape, or form. I really do, because I only have so much reach all by my lonesome. So I hope you enjoyed the topic today. Please let me know with your thumbs up or thumbs down whether you think the topic was interesting. Of course, your subscriptions mean everything to me, and so do your shares. I love seeing your comments, which you can do wherever you're watching the video, or you can head over to my website, which is beccalory.com, Lory, and use the contact page there to get to me directly. If you're more comfortable, just send in an email. It's info@beccalory.com. Yeah, and while you're on my website, you can check out the rest of the things at the Redbubble store. You can sign up for the free newsletter, check out my social media, read what I write, and all kinds of other things. So I really do appreciate all of your love in that way. And yeah, give me your thoughts on alexithymia. I will see you out and about on the interwebs, you guys. Of course, I'll be back on Sunday for the next Growing Gratitude, and I'll be back next Wednesday with the next Being Becca Live. See you guys. Get out there into the world and don't forget to create joy, seek joy, share joy, all the joys. And I'll see you on Sunday. Bye.